Instagram has added so many features with stories and highlights and IGTV and Instagram Live that if you're a small business owner who has been trying to use Instagram for your business, you might be feeling like, is it even worth it anymore? I can't do all of those things, so is it not going to be effective for me? That's what we're going to discuss in this video, because at this point there's kind of almost a tiered approach to how to utilize Instagram. The good news is Instagram has become a very deep platform because there are all these different ways to help your business, help your brand grow and extend your reach and your awareness through the app. But the flip side is, it started as a simple photo and video sharing app, and now it's just so involved. So, for some people, if Instagram is your primary form of social media or even your sole form of social media for your business, you might be rejoicing because there's all these different ways that you can use this app now to, make sales and extend your reach and grow your brand and those kinds of things. But if you're like a lot of other small business owners who maybe, it kills them just to go ahead and take some regular photos to put out in the feed on a regular basis, you might really be questioning if Instagram is still right for you. So the way that I think you can realistically approach Instagram so that it's still effective for your small business would be, one, you can take a very standard approach. You can think of doing the best with the Instagram of the old. You still can do a great job and be very effective just by posting photos and videos to the regular feed, utilizing well-researched hashtags, putting in engagement with those that you follow on Instagram, and engagement that when you're like say you're filtering by people who use the same hashtags that you do and you're trying to engage with people that way, you can still do great things for your small business just by like the basics of Instagram. I would recommend, obviously, utilizing hashtags, researching the hashtags you're utilizing, but also installing something like Linktree. Linktree is free, and I have a blog post on it. So if you're interested in it, just leave me a comment, and I can give you that blog post. Linktree is helpful because the one big challenge with Instagram is that for an individual post, you can't directly link it elsewhere. So, sometimes people will put a link or a shortened link in the caption of that regular post, that regular photo or video, but it's not clickable. So when you direct people to say link in bio, when you use something like Linktree, you replace what that link is in your Instagram bio. And when clicked, it opens to sort of a mini landing page that has multiple links on it. So it's a great way to send people to a new blog post, to send people to certain products that you sell, certain services that you have, or anywhere else on your website. So something like Linktree can really make, regardless of your Instagram strategy, can make your Instagram strategy far more effective. So if you're the small business owner who's like, hey, I can't do all the things, just stick to focusing on posting photos and videos, and using your hashtags and engaging with others who use your same hashtags as part of your Instagram strategy. Now, if you really want to beef up your Instagram strategy, or you feel like Instagram is your strongest platform or your sole platform, that's when you're really going to want to be like, okay, I got to get serious about using the stories. I got to get serious about creating highlights, which are former stories that reside permanently on your profile. And I really need to be thinking about creating videos that will reside forever after on my IGTV channel. You can also go live on Instagram, just like we're going live right now on Facebook. You can go live on YouTube. You can go live on Twitter. There's places to go live. So Instagram is just one more option for that. So stories are photos or videos that only last for 24 hours and then they disappear. You do have to create that story before you can have something to add to your highlights, because your highlights are created from those former stories. So before you can really be building your highlights, you do need to plan for those stories. And then once those stories are published, you can add them to your highlight. So different businesses utilize their highlights different ways, but it's basically a way to group together like things, and then they are highlighted on your Instagram profile when someone visits your profile listing. So some people might want to highlight like different services that they offer or categories of products that they offer. You might want to say, here's a highlight that features like customers or customer testimonials or examples of, happy customers. If say you're a stylist and you're showing like before and after pictures of hair, if you did color for somebody, you might have another highlight that's like the people behind your business. You might have another highlight of where you get your inspiration from or books you recommend. There's so many different ways that you can do highlights, but highlights are kind of nice little organized categories of things that represent your business in some way. Whether it's more of a lifestyle way of branding your business or a very practical, like here's what I sell, here's my blog posts, here's what I'm all about, here's the people who work for me. So then when you get into your IGTV, it's kind of like Instagram/Facebook, since Facebook owns Instagram. Their version of a YouTube, the thing is it only resides within Instagram. So it's not searchable from the outside like how YouTube is, but you can have your own IGTV channel and you have to pre-record those videos. And then you would upload the video file to your IGTV. And then you can give it a name and you can add a description and you can put a clickable link in those IGTV video descriptions to send people elsewhere. Then if you really want to get involved, you need to organize all of these things in a nice little row, because you can do stories, which then you utilize for highlights, but you can do stories that then pump up people to watch your IGTV video. And obviously you want to still be utilizing your feed. So you can do your feed, which pushes to your stories, which pushes to your IGTV video. And then that's where you can then send people off. If you have like 10,000 or more followers, which most small businesses don't, you get the cool swipe up feature with your stories. But most people don't have that yet, so that isn't something that the average account can use. But it is something, including that clickable link, is something that's a benefit of IGTV. So that would be one more reason to consider making those IGTV videos. For myself personally, once I go live on Facebook, since I have my hair and makeup done, I'll just grab my phone right when I'm done. I can go live on Instagram afterwards or then record for IGTV. So if you are wanting to do more video on Instagram, you might just figure, hello, Shelly. You might just figure that you want to go ahead and do that as part of your other video productions. So just as a recap, Instagram, it can feel overwhelming for those small business owners. You can stick to just the basics, but you can also go ahead and pump it up more if you want. Let me see if I can go ahead now that I'm playing around with adding Shelly's comment to the screen. One of those things I love about eCam, there's all these fun things you can do. So you can just stick to the basics with your Instagram, or you can go ahead and try to rev it up. And you can try to play around with both things. Like maybe you want to do enough stories just so that you have those highlights, but the stories isn't something that's just going to be part of your tactical plan on a regular basis. A lot of people who do stories, they want to utilize it more as like a behind the scenes. And so they're less staged, less pretty, more off the cuff. So if you are a small business owner who wants to try doing more besides just the basics of the stuff that's in the reach, that could be a great place to start, where you're just going to start taking more pictures throughout the day and push those to your stories, so you can at least see how those work. When you get into the stories, you can see you can add text to them, and you can add hashtags and some other cool stuff like that. But utilizing stories and highlights is a completely different Instagram strategy. So like I said, we just really want to help those small business owners who are seeing all of these new things that have come in from Instagram, so that they don't feel so overwhelmed anymore. So Shelly asks, you can do comment pop-ups with eCam. No, you can. Isn't that awesome? I love my eCam. I'm trying to do better at stories myself. I know, because the thing is with the stories, because it's a continuously thing, a continuous 24-hour thing, you have to like keep doing it and keep doing it. So that's one challenge too for the people who want to make the really lovely stories where you have the templates. Easel is a platform that will give you templates so that you could do like, say, like a 4-part story or a 5-part story. Those are great to use if you want to be really deliberate with then building a highlight, because then when someone's looking at the highlight is all themed and templated and looks all pretty. But I think for the average small business owner, it's hard to mess around and with that on a regular basis because, you know, you're only one person. And unless the only thing you're doing is Instagram, there's just so many things that are part of Instagram now that it's hard to put that much thought and work and time and creativity in it to keep up with all that stuff. So, so if you all have any questions or if you feel like, you want to know if the smaller amounts of things you're doing at Instagram are enough, please go ahead and leave those in the comments below. If not, you all have a good rest of your day. Bye.